So we're switching things up today and building a faux wall here. Colton's back at the shop welding in the wheel wells that we were fitting yesterday, so I figured it was a perfect time to drag Chad down here to help me build this faux wall. And by help, I obviously mean he's doing all the work while I supervise. So this wall has been bugging me for a while now. It's got everything that you don't want to see. The pipes, the wires, the heating, it's just chaos. So I figured we should just throw some lipstick on a pig, build a faux wall, and make it strictly for aesthetics. We're not trying to hide anything functional, we're just trying to make it look good. And there's actually enough space that we'll still be able to walk back there and do what we have to do. Which is good, and we're actually thinking we may put maybe a washer dryer behind there as well. This whole space is kind of a mashup. I'm imagining like a hybrid office, maybe a little workout zone, ping pong table action, or even just like a place that we can park a car. It's kind of just like a hangout spot. In the summertime, we love opening up the garage door, barbecuing, playing washer toss, and just watching the traffic roll by. So this spot in Canning, to me, is a gem. We really want it to feel good without breaking the bank, and honestly, that's just the mindset we carry through everything that we do. So while we were away in Sweden and Turkey, we had Colton paint the walls black, but that ended up being a way bigger headache than we expected. The wood has these deep gaps, especially on the ceiling, and the paint just didn't want to go in. So when we got back, it was all hands on deck. Chad ended up spraying the cracks with a gun, and we just powered through it. We actually painted the windows on the inside black as well. We just really want to black everything out, and I feel like it's really going to hide all the ugly, so that's what we're going for here. To me, it already looks 100 times better than it did before, and it used to be white and rough and patchy, and now it just feels more modern and intentional. I actually had a way different plan for the faux wall, but when we stopped into Kent last night, I spotted this birch plywood, and I just love the look of the natural wood against the black, so just like that, the plan changed. We grabbed 4 sheets, and now we're framing up a 16-foot wall with 2x4s. Simple, clean, and it's all about working with what you've cut and pivoting when the inspiration hits. And yes, normally you would frame up the wall and have your studs in and then sheathe it, but we're doing it a little bit different because we're working with an uneven floor. So we're just kind of starting from one end, and we're just going to work our way down and apply the studs where they fit. And this way it's just going to work out no matter what. I really enjoy transforming spaces like this. I guess like it's sort of like Chad transforming cars. I really enjoy doing the interiors and the exteriors of houses and stuff. And I honestly wish that I could do all of this stuff by myself, but I'm not sure if it would turn out as well as if I get Chad to do it, so that's where we're at. I feel like he probably wishes that I could do it myself so I didn't have to bug him all the time, but it is what it is. We're just trying to work together and create a space that we're both happy with. We actually put that brick wall up when we first bought this place because we wanted just to transform that wall because it was really ugly, and now that we've got this black and birch vibe going, I kind of want to get rid of that brick wall, but I'm not sure if Chad's going to be down with that or not, so stay tuned on that decision. But I feel like it would look really good if we brought the birch plywood to the back wall as well, and it would just kind of feel more, I don't know what the word is, better, I guess. And the floor was something that I really wanted to change, but I'm not sure if it's worth the effort and aggravation. It's an old wooden floor that is not even, and it's just it's not something that we want to try working with. So I think we're just going to embrace it. And we did put a gloss finish on it years ago, but it is worn off in some places. I thought about renting like a huge floor sander, but again, I don't know if it's worth it. I feel like making those decisions can make or break a project. You really have to weigh the pros and the cons of how you go about things and whether it's worth your time, whether it's worth the money, all of that stuff. And these sheets were like $59 a sheet, so I think it was like around $250. And I feel like that's pretty good for, creating a focal wall. I really feel like it's really going to make this place look so much better. And when you look from the outside in, it looks really good with the black walls because the outside is black metal. So it really brings the outside in. And we also have some wood on the bottom half that's just kind of a temporary fix right now, but it kind of suits it. So the first sheet is nailed down. So now we're going to get the next stud going, and they're 8-foot studs, and we're just tracing it off at the top where it fits and going from there. So I'm trying my best to be proactive and think about what he needs next for each step. Sometimes it's hard to anticipate what he's going to need if I've never seen this done before, so I'm just kind of learning as I go. This is our first faux wall, so we're just taking it one step at a time, but I feel like it's going to go really well. I'm kind of nervous about whether it's going to look good on the bottom of the floor where it's not really even, so if it doesn't look good and if there's different gaps, then I'll just get a finish board or a trim piece, whatever it is, and make it look better. There's something really gratifying about creating something that never existed before, especially when you do it with your own hands and without spending a ton of money. To me, that's where the real joy is. The second you start pouring more and more money into a project, it kind of starts to lose the magic. It becomes less about the creativity and more about the cost. And I know Chad said that same thing about building cars. When the budget goes up, the fun tends to go down. But when you find a way to make it work by repurposing things, solving problems on the fly, or just figuring it out without reaching for your wallet, there's so much more satisfaction in that. It's not just about saving money, it's about using your brain and just figuring out how to do it without spending the money. So obviously you have to spend some money, but we're just talking about keeping it on a budget and how much enjoyment there is in that. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you would recognize this place as the one that we were going to sell at one point. We have the barn outside next to it that we're also trying to slowly fix up and make it watertight. And we were going to sell them as a package or separate, whatever the person wanted. But then once we built the brand new shop and we've seen how much money it costs to have a storage facility, it kind of changed our mind because we got a really good deal on both of these properties. So it doesn't really make sense to sell it because even if we sold them for what we had initially planned to, we wouldn't be able to replace them for that money. So it was just kind of a no-brainer to keep them. And it's kind of nice to have the second property because we kind of treat it like a cottage. Even though it's downtown Canning, it's not really, it's kind of like our condo, I guess. It feels good to be close to everything. We can just like walk down the street and go to the grocery store or the pharmacy or the coffee shop, and it's just nice. I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, but I really want to get a ping pong table for here. And we used to have a ping pong table, and then we got rid of it because we just tried to create more space at our house. But when Chad and I first started dating, he actually tried to win me over by buying a ping pong table so that we could play, and it worked. But I used to be a diehard ping pong player in high school. I was the captain and went to provincials, and I took it pretty serious, and I still do, but I kind of just haven't played in a year or two. So I'm kind of itching to get another table and start playing again. We really enjoyed it. We used to, have business meetings over a game of ping pong, and it's just a nice thing to do at the end of the day or on lunch break or anything like that. So it's just a matter of finding one that is going to work for the space. I also thought about having a multi-purpose, a pool table that has a ping pong table that can go on top, but pool tables are so hard to deal with and move, and I kind of want something that's, movable. So not really sure how we're going to go about it and how I want to decorate the space, but my goal is to have a ping pong table again so I can get back into my competitive mode. I used to play university soccer, and I haven't been playing soccer lately either, so it's kind of like I'm just itching to compete again, whether it's ping pong or pool, whatever it is. I'd even play darts just for the competitive side of things. I just miss that aspect of life, and I would play soccer, but I have such a bad back that I don't think it's worth risking the injury. I thought about playing in the senior women's league where it's not as competitive as the senior women's, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And on a side note, things have been going really well in the shop lately. Chad and Colton are working together better than ever, and I just honestly feel like we've grown so much as a team since Colton came back. We've both noticed a lot of growth in him, not just in his skills, but his mindset. He's focused, he's committed, and, he shows up early, he stays late, and he's willing to work 7 days a week if we ask him to. So there's not much more we could really ask for. I think his skills will develop the more he practices, but I feel like his hard work is paying off, and just the overall energy in the shop is good right now. And I feel like the hardest thing is when we take off, we kind of lose that momentum in the shop. We were gone for 10 days, and it can really take a toll on Chad and myself, just getting back into the groove and getting back into our schedule. I know when we go away, it's Chad gets a break from fabricating, but it's a whole other job to be at the car shows and to socialize and be on the ball for that many hours. So it's just a different form of work. But for me, it's I try to keep the same posting schedule that I maintain while we're home, and with the time changes, it can really mess me up sometimes. And I feel like I work overtime or double time when we are away, so when we do come back, it's almost like I'm still working full time, but it feels so much easier and lighter being home. But I feel like it's taken Chad a little bit more time than normal to readjust because of his head healing, and he's kind of, not 100%. He can't do everything quite yet because he has to be really conscious of getting his head in bad situations. So we're trying to find the balance, but he's at the point now in the healing schedule that he can wear a hat as normal, he can shower normally. They recommended using baby shampoo after he finished the shampoo and lotion that they had given him after the surgery. So I feel like it's going well. He's allowed to do mild sports, which means he can sweat a little bit. We were trying to make sure that he wasn't sweating in the shop the first little bit, so that's why we, tried to stay out of the shop as long as we could. But, things are going good in that sense, and we're just trying to keep moving forward in different ways. I think the next big thing that we're going to do on the 34 Ford Sedan is chop the roof and turn it into a panel sedan style hot rod. So normally when you see the panels, the back window is closed off, but you can still see the molding and the panels on the inside of the window versus on the outside being flush. So I think Chad wants to flush it out so that it's, smooth on the outside and get rid of that back window completely. And I think he wants to do the chop different than he normally does. I think he wants like a Mad Dog style, which means the tilt and the angle will be different. So I think once Colton finishes welding the wheel wells, I think we're going to, maybe do some more bracing and then start chopping the roof. So stay tuned for that whole episode. I just seen a comment pop up on my phone as I'm recording this voiceover to the video, and I just want to read it. It comes from Randall Blaine, and it says, Chad and Jolene, I'm one of your subscribers that is hitting the end of the road with congestive heart failure. I'm watching you channel throughout my day and think about your build when I'm not watching. It is bringing me a great deal of happiness, reminding me of my own efforts at custom work, which is purely amateur. Even long scenes of Chad welding spot by spot brings peace. Thank you for your submission of bringing beauty and happiness to our world. And I just want to give you a shout out and thank you for watching and commenting, and I'm wishing you the best in your health, and I really hope that things turn around for you. And, I feel like we get a lot of comments from people that are in the hospital that watch the channel and appreciate it because it is something that you can watch and follow daily. And we just want to say, we appreciate everybody that tunes in every day because we've really committed our lives to doing a daily show, and it does come with challenges and hiccups and hurdles and all that stuff, but it also brings us a lot of joy to do it every day. So I feel like it's a mutually beneficial thing for both us and our viewers. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody for sending in the comments because it all helps our channel grow. We don't really push all the things that a lot of other YouTubers do by telling people to subscribe and comment and like. We're trying not to be those pushy, I guess, but in the same sense, it does help the channel grow. So I have to show appreciation to the people who do like the videos and subscribe and comment because it's all part of the engagement and the algorithm of making our videos pop up in new viewers' eyes. And yeah, it's one big hustle, I guess. So another comment I see on last night's video is about the Bugatti, and I feel like a lot of people are wondering about the Bugatti, so I'm going to address it and talk about it. So this comment says, can anyone remind me why the Bugatti's on hold? That was the best content. with all the experts included in the process. So the Bugatti is on hold, and it just comes down to making content worth watching. And right now we don't feel like what's needed on the Bugatti is worth making content about, and our priority is making premium content because we're running a business and we're trying to succeed, I guess. Yes, we could easily, shut the camera down and do the meticulous tasks that are needed on the Bugatti, and or even film the meticulous tasks that we don't really feel is film worthy. But it's just a personal choice that we've decided that we don't want to do right now. And a lot of people want to see it done, and we would love to see it done too, but neither of us have an urgency to get it done right now. And it's been such a fun journey from start to where it's at now, and there's been a lot of ups and downs with the engine situation and just everything. Like, we have done so much work on that car, and we've done so much work since the car's been on pause, and we're just working in other ways. So it will come to life one of these days. We have no timeline, there's no deadline, there's nothing other than the will and want that's stopping us from working on it. So one of these days we'll surprise you guys and we'll pull it in and we'll get back on it. But right now we need to still deal with the shifter cable, and we really want to get all the mechanicals tied up before we start moving on to the body and paint. And the guy that worked on the Volvo for us, Chris, he mentioned that he would be able to do the mechanical side on it, which would be awesome because he's really familiar with the carburetor system on the Jaguar engine. So, and I feel like he could easily hook up the shifter cable and whatnot. So we're just kind of waiting on when he feels like he has the time to do that. So that'll be a huge step forward, and it will really push us to get on the paintwork and the final touches. So stay tuned, and thank you for your patience. I know a lot of people got drawn into the channel from that car, and it's actually the car that really kickstarted our journey together as a business. Like, when we first got together, Chad wanted to build me a car to get me involved in what he does, and we started building that car, and I just started filming the odd video and posting it on Fridays, and that was our whole thing at the beginning, was it's Friday and this is where we're at on the Bugatti. And it caught the attention of the producers in LA, and that's how the TV show was formed. And then it went on pause because we were doing TV for those 2 years, and then after TV ended with COVID, we really had to figure out what we were going to do, and that's when we jumped on the YouTube train, and it's just been full tilt since. And I feel like everything we do and decide on is based on making our channel grow and succeed. And I feel like some people don't like that because they want us to do things the way that they think they should be done, which is starting a car from start to finish. But for us, it's everything we do is business based, and I feel like every business is run the same way. You're trying to maximize the profits and do better than you did yesterday. And that's sort of what I do. I analyze everything that we do. I analyze the numbers, the watch time, how many people or what percentage of people click on the video based on the title and the picture. And there's a lot to it that a lot of people don't probably realize. But that is why we're able to do what we're doing, is because we do take it serious and we do treat it like a business. And, you know, I hope that all makes sense. That's why, like, when Chad says, you know, I tell him that he doesn't have to finish anything, it's because it's true. Like, the views always go down when, you know, he has the body formed, and then it's just like the small stuff that takes amount of time with no visuals. Like, that's when the views go down. And it's always better when we're creating and fabricating and visualizing new concepts. So that's sort of why we do what we do. But in the same sense, we did try to do the full build from start to finish with the 50 Ford, and it did do reasonably well. So there is that. But there's also the balance of, you know, making sure that Chad's happy doing what he's doing, and Chad enjoys visuals and changing things and fabricating. So we're just trying to find the balance. And at the end of the day, I feel like the most important thing is that we're both happy. And Chad is an artist above anything, and true artists follow inspiration. And when the spark fades, an artist will move on, and it's not out of laziness, but out of instinct. And, you know, Chad doesn't build for clients or deadlines anymore. He builds for the love of it. And that's why some projects will sit and others will take off. But every single thing that he does comes from a place of real passion. It's not out of obligation. It's not because he has to do this because it needs to be done by this time. It's literally pure passion and doing what makes him happy in the moment. And I feel like if we change that, then, you know, our channel wouldn't be what it is. I feel like our channel is very authentic and real, and it's raw. And, you know, we think it's important to keep the style that we have at this point, because it's authentic, and we don't really want to make it too glamorous and, you know, add music or cut out the mistakes, or, you know, just make it something that it's not. We just want to show what really happens in the shop, because the people that watch, that actually work on cars, they know what it's like. They know how long it takes to do what Chad does. And I feel like those people are the ones that respect it. And, you know, the other ones that just watch and criticize from their chair, they're the people that really don't know what it takes. And I feel like there is value in watching the real process and what it takes, because you can, you know, see that a certain tool was able to get the job done quicker than something that you may have thought you would have used in that situation. So it's, you know, I find like you can be told something and it won't sink in, but the minute you watch something be done, it's like, okay, I get it now. So yeah, I feel like the value is definitely there. And, you know, sometimes it may feel like it's drawn out, but, you know, we're just showing the real situation. You know, even the best builders in the world can appreciate what we do because they know what it's like. And, you know, I remember just recently when we were in California at the Grand National Roadster Show, the top builder that won the most prestigious award the Most Beautiful Roadster award. It was Troy Trepanier, I believe his name is, and you know, Chad obviously knows him from the magazines and just from the car world, and when Troy came up to Chad and wanted to take a picture of him beside his car that just won the entire show, it was a really, I don't know, it was a really big emotional moment for Chad because the top builder wanted a picture with Chad and he wanted to show respect, and he told him that he appreciated our channel and what we do and not to listen to anybody that knocks it because the true builders know the truth of the matter. So I just feel like, yeah, it was a good moment for Chad, and I was proud of him, and I just felt happy for him that he got the respect that I think he deserves from everybody. But that's just the nature of the beast when, you know, you put yourself out on the internet. Everybody has a chance to say what they want to say, and you just have to take the good with the bad and realize that, you know, it could be a lot worse, and you just have to keep your head down and keep working. And we're definitely good at that. I don't think there's too many people that will outwork Chad or myself. I feel like we're both just we're two driven people that get enjoyment out of working as much as we do. And I think another comment that I see all the time is about why we're not taking the weekends off like we had said that we were going to. And, you know, we did try that for the first weekend, and it just felt, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were like, well, this is different, you know? I mean, I'm sure we'd adjust to it, but we just both decided that we'd rather work and move forward doing what we're passionate about. And I guess that boils down to that we both really enjoy what we're doing. Whether we're building faux walls or building cars, we just enjoy moving forward and making the most out of our time. And I guess that comes easy when you do what you love. And we're both so fortunate that we're able to do that because, you know, we do realize that a lot of people don't get the ability to work on what they want to work on because, you know, you have to go to your job and you have to do what you have to do to pay the bills. And a lot of times that doesn't involve doing what you actually want to do. And we don't take it for granted by any means. We are, you know, we talk about it all the time about how fortunate we are and that we're too blessed to be stressed, you know, like everybody has their moments where they're down or they're not happy or motivated, but yeah, I think we do pretty well with what we're doing. Anyway, I talked for a long time. I'm not normally the one doing the talking, but I just want to thank everybody for watching and, yeah, following along on this faux wall. I think it looks really good. The floor is still, you know, it's up in the air. I'm going to try to embrace it as much as I can, but if you do have any suggestions, I will definitely take them. As you can see, the floor is not one level playing field. It would need a flood, as Chad likes to call it, to level it out. But yeah, I don't know what the best thing to do with it is other than embrace it. So send in your comments. Let us know what you enjoyed about this video or what you didn't enjoy. I promise we'll be back in the shop tomorrow, back on the car. This was just a detour, and it worked out perfect because Colton's, like I said, welding up the wheel wells, and we'll have a lunch break here soon, and Chad will go up and probably grind off the welds, and then we can start fresh on something tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for watching. leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. It helps our channel grow more than you realize. And yeah, come back tomorrow. We'll be here.